Let's talk to someone who's actually been on one of these coding courses. He's called Tom Goldenberg, and Tom's on the line now. Hi, Tom. Tell us, how did you get into this?
Yes, I happened to move into close to New York City, and really it was just an ad that I saw on Facebook that said, you can learn in just a couple of months and get a salary in the 80 to 100,000 range. And I couldn't believe it, but I looked into it and it happened.
What were you doing at the time? What sort of work?
Sure. So I was interning at a think tank close to the UN, managing their events. And before that, I was in hospitality bartending. I found it frustrating without kind of the typical credentials of a master's degree to really get ahead. So I was looking for some alternative.
Am I allowed to say your age?
Yeah, of course. I'm 35.
Okay, so that's you're making a big kind of career decision. You get into this course. What was it like?
Yeah, it was very intensive. I had the luxury of 1 or 2 months before the course to do some self-study on my own. And I really just, hit the books hard. I did a ton of projects on the side, and I worked really hard, and I came out prepared for the workforce.
This sort of thing requires focus, concentration, and ability to solve problems. Do you tick all those boxes?
Well, I don't have a typical STEM degree, so I'm much more consider myself a creative type rather than an analytical type. But I think that people that are creative are going to be able to find that they actually enjoy coding as well. It's not only for people that are good at math or good at science.
It's all concentrated in quite a short space of time, which is why they've been called coding boot camps, which sounds a bit uncomfortable, was it?
No, it actually was a great bonding experience for the other students that were in it, and along with the teachers who were very supportive. So you come out of it, the same kind of close connections that you have after a 4-year degree. I've made some incredible friendships through the process.
Tom, it's Bola here in the studio with Julian. I was just curious, in an era where a lot of coding is being taught to very young children, I mean very young, whether be it in America or in Ghana, all across the world, did you find there was a bit of a generation gap and that you had a lot of young people learning to code, or that you're up against a lot of youngsters who already know, this whole world of coding and computer programming?
So my approach to it has been that I'm not embarrassed to fail. And I think this is the one thing that keeps people back. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm ignorant or I don't know something. And because of that, I've been able to learn, even though I had no programming experience at all before that. I would say that's the number one pitfall that I've seen, though.
How did you pay for it? Was it expensive?
So it was $18,000. I was very fortunate to, actually be supported by my wife at the time, who was had her first job as an assistant professor. I took out a loan to pay for most of it, and I was able to pay off that loan way before it was due.
Pay it off because of the job you got at the end of it?
Yes, that's correct. I ended up doing kind of consulting at first, but I was able to find my first full-time job within 3 months.
So boot camps work?
If you put the hard work in, yes.
Very, very sound words of advice. I'm sure everyone will agree with. Yeah. Anyway, well done for getting through that, and good luck in your future career. Tom Goldenberg there.